Hi everyone. It is, what time is it? 3:29. Oops. It's 3:29 on Saturday. 3:30 now. My goodness. I have to have the date show. Although I'm posting this video today, so you guys will know what date it is. It's 3:30 on Saturday, March 15th, 2025. And I just have a few stories to share with all of you. I really wanted to finish my makeup for this video, and I did not, so I'm gonna just do that now while I tell my stories. And this is one video that I am going to try my best not to pause or edit, although if I have interruptions, family stuff that comes up, I'm in a closet right now, and yeah. If anything comes up, I might have to pause or edit this, but hopefully not. So let's just get to it. So pink is my favorite color. And I feel like as a society, across all countries, groups of people, we've agreed that pink cars are obscene, unacceptable, and we don't really have them. We don't see pink cars on the streets very often. And so one day, when I was driving, I decided I was feeling very conflicted. And when I'm feeling conflicted, one thing I've done since I was a small child is I have made bets with myself. It's always an if-then statement. If I can press the microwave button before it beeps, then such and such good thing will happen to me today. It's kind of along those lines. So while I was driving, who knows where I was driving, sometime last summer, I was feeling really anxious about a lot of information that I had received. Well, a lot of information that I've received over the course of my entire life, really, but especially within the past couple years. It's a very specific message that keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And it causes a lot of internal conflict for me because it's a message that I feel like is a pretty big deal. And I'll share it later. But anyway, I decided, you know what, I don't know if I can believe in this message that I'm receiving. And so, if I can believe in it, then I should see a pink car. Okay? I figured if I absolutely can believe in this message, I should see a pink car, and I should see a pink car very soon. Now, what are the chances of anyone driving in a suburban area on any given day, anywhere in this country? What are the chances of any of us seeing a pink car? And so I felt hopeful, though, because I have always wanted to believe in this message. But of course, I'm a little doubtful because, again, statistically, I just don't know if this is going to pan out. But I'm pulling up to a stoplight, and it's red, and so I'm slowing down to stop, and as I do, I look all around at the shopping centers, or businesses, all the parking lots, all the, my lane of traffic, the lane of traffic next to me. I'm just looking all around. Sorry, I'm trying to find my chest strap. I'm quadriplegic, so I'm falling over. So don't mind me, just gotta strap in. Anyway, I'm looking for a pink car, and I'm not seeing one. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I wonder when or if I will see one. Not one anywhere in sight. The light turns green. Traffic starts to move. There's a very large van in front of me, kind of blocking my view of the road up ahead and of the road on the other side of the street. But as it moves, and I just happen to be glancing toward the oncoming traffic, I see it. I saw a pink Cadillac, like an old school Cadillac, and it was not a Mary Kay car that I've seen in the past, or at least it didn't seem like it. This car had this beautiful iridescent sheen to it, like it had some sort of special wrap on it. It was not just pink, it was all the colors of the rainbow. It color shifted as it moved. It shifted to purple. It made me do a triple take, because I'm like, first of all, oh my god, a pink car? No way. Second of all, is that really a pink car? Third, is that a pink and purplish car? Like, why is it changing colors? I just couldn't keep my eyes off it, but, you know, I gotta drive. So I just proceeded on down the road. But oh my gosh. I made that bet. And sure enough, all of a sudden I have this answer right in front of me. And so if you made a bet, I really need to put my chest strap on. But if you made a bet like that, can I believe this? And if this is true, then this will happen. And then such and such thing happens. And it's something as rare as seeing a pink, mind you, an iridescent pink car. Whatever thing you bet on, would you then choose to believe? Would you believe in it? Or would you find more reasons to doubt? So that's kind of my question of the day for my friends, my family, those of you watching. Dude, it's a struggle being quadriplegic, I'm not gonna lie. Woo! Here we go. Got my chest strap on. No more falling over. Alright. Let me put this down a little bit. I think, you guys are a little bit high up there. Okay, I think that's better. So yeah, that's a real thing that happened to me last summer. And I have a few more stories like that. So I am going to share those stories, and then I'm going to share what the message is. And this was, I thought, the scariest thing I've ever done. You know, I've done a lot of guest speaking over the years. I've spoken in front of groups of up to 250 people. I've gone out into the world as a person newly paralyzed since 2013. I've had to deal with a lot of big, scary things. I mean, the list goes on forever. We all deal with big, scary things. But this, when I realized I needed to share this, a couple days ago I realized, and yesterday I really realized, and now today I'm here doing it. It seems so scary, but I'm realizing now that the only thing scarier is to not try something different, to not finally decide to believe and put myself out there and have faith in what's coming. So, okay, on to the next story. I really need some water. So, by the way, I didn't, at that time, fully trust in my own bet. Despite seeing the pink car out of nowhere, it was just still something that was so hard to wrap my mind around it and to believe that I just kind of thought, like, oh my gosh, here's further evidence. Wow, this is awesome. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know what I thought, but I needed further evidence. So I kept making bets. So here's another time that I bet. I bet that if this message was true, one day, it was a different day I was driving, Again, it was this past summer. And I was thinking to myself, if this is true, then I should hear a specific song. It's a song that I love. It's Superhuman by Genuine, which again is so fitting. You'll see why that's a fitting song title later on, but Superhuman is a song that I absolutely love, and I just really, really was wanting to hear it. And again, I was thinking about all these messages that I've been receiving and wondering whether or not I can really put my faith in them. And I thought to myself, okay, I think I said out loud, if this is true, then I am going to hear Superhuman by Genuine first on my playlist when I hit shuffle. And I hit shuffle, and what do you know? The first song that plays... No, I'm not going to sing it. But yes, that song played, and I just broke out in the biggest smile. Because I thought, this is incredible. What are the chances of that again? And now I'll hopefully be able to add a screenshot here of my playlist, but it's my R&B dance mix where I have that song, I think. Anyway, whatever playlist I have it on, I just went and looked the other day, and that playlist has about 260 something songs on it. So even assuming that it had 250 songs at the time, which I don't even think I've added that many songs since the past summer, but let's assume that since this past summer, I've added a bunch of songs. Let's say it had 250. That is oops, got mascara on my nose. That's kind of cute. That's a 1 in 250 chance. That is 0.004%. So if you bet on something that had a 0.004% chance of happening, and then that thing happened, what would you think? How would you feel? Again, I'm not just making these bets on a whim or even making them all the time and then ignoring the ones that don't come true or something like that, because this isn't something that I'm thinking, well, it's something I'm thinking of a lot more now, but in general, I'm not just constantly thinking about these messages I've been receiving. Mostly I've been pushing them to the back of my mind because it's overwhelming. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of really big concepts, things that I have not known to be true, things that I think a lot of us on this earth presently, they're ideas that I think are generally rejected. And so I didn't feel comfortable accepting what I was receiving. And so therefore I was just thinking about whatever homework I have due, or what show I want to watch that day after work, or who I'm going to call, which of my friends I'm going to call, how I'm going to spend time with my family this weekend, whatever, right? Just normal life stuff. I'm not thinking about all these other things until all of a sudden I am. And then it's overwhelming. And so to give myself reassurance, I'm making these bets. And every time I'm making these bets, the universe is saying, yes, Rachel, it's true. Here you go. Every single time. Okay, so that was the second story. Great song, by the way. Check it out. Maybe. Or don't. It's a great song. The third story. Whew. Okay. Where is my chapstick? The third story happened very recently. It happened when I was in class. I I work full time, and then I have class twice a week online. Starting to feel butterflies in my stomach telling this one. Oh my goodness. Whew, I'll be okay. I'm gonna finish the story. I've struggled a lot throughout my life to be the person that I feel like I really want to be. To feel confidence and to feel just free to express myself and not worry about producing the perfect result or worry about what other people think, or there's always been this feeling of not being good enough. Recently, I've been feeling like I'm doing so much better at letting go, saying what's on my mind, not being hung up on my mistakes, just feeling genuinely myself and more peaceful and more happy. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I've been listening to these messages that have gotten louder and louder and louder. But at the same time, I couldn't help but think that if I really lean into all of this, if I really embrace these things to be true, then what's going to happen? Then what are people going to think of me? Then what could go wrong? What'll happen to the person I was before? But I think that person has to go away, because I don't think she was ever truly happy. So I'm going to share this story without being afraid of what comes next, or whatever people think. I know that the people who really care are still going to be there for me. So I was in class, and I was having all these thoughts about all these messages and how I feel overwhelmed in life and how I'm excited about my future, but I wonder if I really can make the changes I need to make to be successful in the ways that I need and that my family needs. Can I really do it, And at the same time, are all of these messages really true? The same things that I bet on when I was driving and saw the pink car, the same thoughts and feelings that I bet on when I was driving and heard my favorite song. I said, if all of this that I'm wanting to believe to be true is true, please just give me a sign. I should get a sign right now, right while I'm in class. I don't know what sign. I can't even choose a sign right now, but I just want a sign right now. And I was on a 5-minute break in class. My teacher had just called us back, like, hey, everyone, turn your cameras back on. Because I was actually the first one back. So my teacher was in the top left of the screen. I, from the beginning of class, because all of our video thumbnails were in a specific position on the screen, And that position was the same from the start of class until the end of it. That position did not change, because when you pop in and out of class for a break, you're not really supposed to leave the Zoom meeting. You're just supposed to turn your camera off. And so your position does not change. So she was in the number 1 position. I, from the start of class, had been in the number 2 position. I turned my camera back on. So it was the teacher and then me. And then all the other students were not back yet. For some reason, each and every one of them decided they needed, for whatever reason, like a 6-minute break. The third person, so the teacher being first, me being second, the third person to come back to class just happened to be the person whose video thumbnail was in the position directly to the right of mine. So now the 1, 2, and 3 positions on the screen are in order. There's someone on camera now. The fourth person who came back just happened to be the person whose video thumbnail was already in the 4th position. The 5th person who came back just happened to be the person who was already in the 5th position on screen. I thought, what the heck is happening? What is this? What are the chances of 5 people in a row? Or even, let's exclude the teacher. She's always back first. What are the chances of 4 people in a row who turn their camera off and then turn it back on being the same 4 people whose video thumbnails were already lined up in that exact order? But it didn't stop there. The 6th person came back, and the 7th person came back, and boom, 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 all in a row, every row. My entire class came back in that structured order of how they were already on my screen, how they were already displayed from before they turned their cameras off. Do you guys follow? My class has 16 people in it. If you exclude the teacher, that's 15 people. The chances of 15 items appearing in one particular order, that is 15 factorial. The chances of that, and trust and believe I calculated this after the fact, the chances of that happening are 1 in 1.3 trillion. I was shocked the moment I saw it. I was just... You would think someone punched me in the face. I was bamboozled. I was gobsmacked. I was in another realm at that point with disbelief. Totally incredulous. I just felt like I was just in space alone. Like, no one else sees this. No one else is experiencing this. Everyone's Zoom orientation on their own screen is going to be different than mine, right? And also, none of them were probably looking for a sign like that either. But either way, like, this was only happening to me. I was the only one seeing this impossible thing. And probably some people might see that and just shrug it off. I mean, I wanted to just shrug it off. Like, well, that was weird, but that's not just weird, that's impossible. Statistically, almost impossible. But that's the thing, right? Is that, what's another way to say almost impossible? Possible, right? Almost impossible just means possible. You watching this, you are almost impossible. What are the chances of one single sperm among the millions that men's bodies produce every day, lining up with one particular egg from 100,000 that the woman is born with. And for it to come together and make the embryo that became the fetus, that became you, to be born on a particular day, second, and minute, in a particular space and time, what even is that but nearly impossible? But still possible, because here you are, right? So my message today, that I'm no longer afraid, but so happy and grateful to be able to share, is that this life is so full of possibilities, and they are only limited, they are only ever limited by our own beliefs. The current structure of our world is not sustainable. There are so many people hurting. There are so many people in fear. There are so many people who have forgotten how to love, not only each other, but themselves, truly. And I was one of those people. And the moment that I felt myself in the most pain in my life, sorry, I should have worn a tube top. Like, I'd hate for my nipples to come out and ruin this whole moment. Whew, alright. When I was in the most pain in my life is when I was 19 years old. I had just ended up in a rollover car accident because I fell asleep driving. I broke my neck. And at the time, I didn't know it. I just knew that I was going to die alone in a ditch. Or at least I thought that to be true. I thought my car might explode. I thought, well, clearly I see I can't move now, so maybe I'll just sit here and starve to death. I just knew I wasn't getting out of there. And that everything I ever cared about, everyone I ever cared about, was gonna be heartbroken all at once, and everything I'd ever hoped for or dreamed of was gone. And it was the worst feeling in the world. But then a voice entered my head. A voice said to me, a voice that was not my own, said to me, Rachel, you're going to be okay. You're going to make it out of this. Your story does not end here. And I said, oh, okay. And so from that moment forward, I knew. I sat in that car for about 4 hours after that, just playing games with myself the whole time, talking to myself out loud, imagining conversations I'd have with my family and friends when I finally see them, because, well, I was fine. I was going to be okay. And I went from the loneliest, most devastating moment in my life, totally disheartened, to all of a sudden totally empowered. And what voice was that? And all this time I didn't know, until it spoke to me again recently. Well, through all these messages, it's been telling me for a long time. And again, those bets, those are just 3 stories I've chosen to share today. But I've been making those bets over and over again, really throughout my whole life, but more so in recent years. And in recent weeks, I've been making them every single day. So the 3 stories I just shared, those are the types of things that are happening to me now, every single day. And so I can't deny it anymore. It wouldn't make sense to just stay in denial just because I'm afraid of what it might mean to admit that this is true. But what I now believe to be true is that we are not alone. We have spiritual beings that look over us, care about us, help to guide us through this life so we can understand the powerful beings that we all are. The fact that all of us have the power to literally shape our universe, shape what we want to see in the world in a positive way. I have an alarm going off on my phone. There is so much more to this life, to our purpose here, that we, for the most part, are just unaware of because we haven't tapped into our ability. We haven't tapped into this awareness. But I was told to tell everyone that they are coming, that they will be here very, very soon, and they have lessons for us. And those lessons are, if we choose to, going to help each and every one of us that chooses it to be able to tap into that awareness and start to learn just how powerful we all really are. We are living in an incredible time. There is a lot of change on the horizon, and it can be a scary thing, and it will be a scary thing for a lot of people. But do not be afraid. They want me to tell you not to be afraid, because the answers are already within us. If we listen very carefully, literally, turn the news off, quit distracting yourself with constant entertainment, slow down, breathe, just breathe and listen, and you'll understand. You'll come to understand all of what is true. So it's an exciting time, and I'm just so thankful that I don't have to be afraid anymore. I'm excited to step out into something new, and I'm excited to see who is there with me. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I know I'm going to watch this back and think, oh, there's more I could have said, or nitpick my little mannerisms, but I'm human, and I'm Rachel J, and I'll talk to you later. Stay beautiful.